Hello dear children, how are you feeling today? I feel great. Today we are going to learn two poems. One is Patter Cake and the second poem is Flowers. Shall we recite the first poem? Patter cake, patter cake, baker's man, bake me a cake as fast as you can. Pat it and prick it, mark it with B, and put in the oven for baby and me. Now shall we recite it with some facial expressions? Patter cake, baker's man, bake me a cake as fast as you can. Pat it and prick it, mark it with B, and put in the oven for baby and me. Now shall we learn the other poem? The second poem is Flowers. Flowers, red, white, pink and blue, good to smell and look at too. Lilies and roses all in a row, don't pluck them, just let them grow. Shall we recite the poem again with some facial expressions? Flowers, red, white, pink and blue, good to smell and look at too. Lilies and roses, all in a row. Don't pluck them, just let them grow. Okay, children, now you have to learn how to recite the poem with correct pronunciation. For that, you have to cut my mouth and learn to recite the poem with correct pronunciation. Shall we start the first poem again? Patter cake, patter cake, baker's man, bake me a cake as fast as you can. Pat it and prick it, mark it with B, and put in the oven for baby and me. Now shall we learn the two poems meaningfully? Shall we learn the first poem, Flowers, in a meaningful way? Red, white, pink and blue. The flowers are in different colors. There are red flowers, white flowers, blue and pink flowers. Do you also have colorful flowers in your home garden? Yes. Red color. White color. Pink color. Pink. Blue color. In the poem, the flowers are red, white, pink and blue. Okay, children, now let's see some flowers with those colors. Red, white, pink and blue. Shall we first see some red flowers? there are some red flowers on my table. Red. And we'll go to the white flowers. There are some white flowers here. White. White flowers. Now let's see some pink flowers. Pink. Pink flowers. Now shall we see some blue flowers? Blue. Blue flowers. Red. White. Pink and blue. Okay, children. The second sentence of the poem is good to smell and look at too. Are you going to smell the flowers which are there in your home garden? What kind of odor do you get? Yes, a sweet scent. The third sentence is lilies and roses, all in a row. Do you know what a row is? It's a line. In your home garden, have your parents planted flowers in a row? Yes. Shall we keep these flowers on my table in a row nicely? Okay, children, can you see the row? I have kept the colorful flowers in a row. Lilies and roses all in a row. Don't pluck them, just let them grow. Are you going to pluck your flowers in the garden? Are you going to pluck those flowers? No, your parents will scold you. Don't pluck the flowers in your home garden. Just let them grow. The flowers also need to grow nicely. Children, now let's learn the next poem in a meaningful way. Let's learn the poem Pat a Cake with the meaning. Pat a cake, baker's man. The poet wants the baker to bake a cake. Yes, pat a cake, baker's man. Have you seen your mother baking cakes in the kitchen? Yes. How is she baking it? She is putting the cake in the oven. That's the way we bake cakes. And the poet wants the baker to bake it. Who's baking in the oven? Who's baking in the oven? The baker is baking in the oven. Pat a cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. The poet wants the baker to bake the cake quickly, as fast as he can. Pat it and prick it, mark it with B. The baker is going to pat and prick the cake, and the poet wants the baker to mark the cake with letter B, with capital B. Pat it and prick it, mark it with B, put in the oven for baby and me. The poet wants the baker to put the cake in the oven and bake it. But not only to the poet, also for his baby. Both of them wants to eat the cake. So they want the baker to put the cake in the oven and bake the cake. Pat it and prick it, mark it with B, and put in the oven for baby and me. Okay, my dear children, now we have come to the end of the lesson. I think you learned many things about the two poems, Pat a Cake and Flowers. You learned the meaning of the poems. You learned how to pronounce it with facial expressions. Okay, children, stay safe at home. See you again in our next lesson.